let's calculate the energy in an inductor and the energy density of the magnetic field. It's going to be a double whammy electrodynamics day. In the previous video, I calculated the inductance of a solenoid, and I did make a mistake. I think you'll see the mistake, but I left off this link. I calculated the inductance as mu naught n squared pi r squared, and I left off the d. But it was a tiny little error. I'm not going to redo the video because you know me. But I will put the playlist for all these videos for this course is down below, so you can find that video and you can see how I derived that. In short, we calculate the magnetic field in a solenoid using Ampere's law. And then we define the inductance as the flux divided by the current. So I calculate the flux through that its own magnetic field divided by the current, and that's how you get that. And then remember, if we have a solenoid, if we have an inductor, the voltage, the EMF, is negative L di dt. So it depends on the rate of change of current. So let's go ahead and calculate the energy stored in an inductor. And how do we do that? Well, I know that power for any element is IV. And now in this case, the voltage across the inductor is going to be the EMF, so it's I EMF. Or, and we're just talking about the magnitude, I L di dt. So it's going to change. So as I increase the current, I'm going to get more, I'm going to have more power. But I really don't care about the power, I care about the total energy. So we can define power as delta E delta T, right? The rate of change of energy. So let's go ahead and solve for the energy by multiplying both sides. Actually, let's call this derivative. This is better. dE dt. So I can multiply both sides by delta T, and I get dE equals Li di. Now I can integrate both sides. So E is going to be the integral from I1 equals 0 to I final, whatever that is. I'm going to start from zero current of L I di. I can factor out the L, so I get L. I can integrate I di pretty easily. That's going to be I squared over 2 from I equals 0 to I equals I final. And so I get the energy stored in in an inductor is 1/2 L I squared. That's important. Let's put that over here. The energy is 1/2 L I squared. Energy stored in a capacitor. So the higher the current you have going through it, you had to get up to that current to do that, right? And so the process of increasing that current has a voltage, and that's where that energy comes from. Now I can look at the energy stored in the magnetic field. So that energy, we assume that energy is in this whole volume of the inductor. So really what I want to do is calculate the energy density. So the energy per unit volume. Well, I know the energy, and I know the volume is going to be pi r squared d. So let's get expressions for both the for L in the inductor, which we did before. So if I do that, using that, I get energy per volume is 1/2 L. L is this, mu naught n squared pi r squared over d. And then the volume is going to be pi r squared d squared. Now I don't really want, you can see the pi and r squareds cancel. I didn't put the energy. Oh no, and then I need I squared. So that's L V I squared. But over here, I can write I in terms of the magnetic field. So I is equal to B mu naught, no, B divided by mu naught N. And remember, N is the turns per unit length. So this is B over mu naught N D. So if I substitute that in for I squared, I get the energy density E over V is 1/2 mu naught N squared over, why do I have a D cubed? D, that one came from the L, and then where'd the other one come from? The volume. No, the volume doesn't, that's D. See? I caught my error. Right, it's pi R squared D, not D squared. Got it. Whew. Okay, so where was I? Mu naught N squared, and then I have D squared, and then I squared is going to be B squared D squared over mu naught squared N squared. Cancel, 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 cancel. So the energy density is 1/2. Here I have a mu naught and a mu naught squared, so 1 over mu naught B squared. So that's the energy density in the magnetic field. It's proportional to B squared, and that's the magnitude of the magnetic field. That's kind of fun. I always make mistakes on that. I don't know why, but there you go.